Hi, Dr. Bacon here. I want to talk to you today about a book that I recently read. It's called Uncovering Student Ideas in Science, Another 25 Formative Assessment Probes, Volume 3, by Paige Keeley, Francis Everly, and Chad Dorsey. This is from the NSTA Press. The book starts out with a pertinent quote by Maureen O'Brien Carlson. It says, "When data are used by teachers to make decisions about next steps for a student or a group of students, to plan and to improve their own practice, they help inform us as well as form practice. This is formative assessment." This book contains a lot of formative assessment tools in the areas of physical science and life science and earth science. The volume emphasizes the need for teachers to use probes as an assessment of student and teacher learning. There are two previous volumes in this series of Uncovering Student Ideas in Science, and all three volumes share the same capacity of developing formative assessment probes. There are 5 requirements for transformative learning. One is to create a high level of cognitive dissonance. You know, that's where we take students to a point where they're a little uncomfortable because they have to resolve this uncomfort. Now, we don't want to take them to the point of frustration, but simply to that point where they desire to reconcile what is wrong in one sense with what their thinking is and where we want them to go with that thinking to really build that new understanding. We want to provide time and structure and support for teachers to think through the dissonance that they experience. We want to embed dissonance creating and dissonance resolving activities in teachers' actual situations. We want to enable teachers to develop new ways of teaching that fit with this new understanding and engage teachers in a continuous process of improvement. As we can see from this list, the volume focuses more on how to develop teachers' capacity to properly use and develop formative assessment probes so that they can accomplish the full purpose of the formative assessment probe. So I recall that the formative assessment probe is not intended to be a measure of a numerical attainment by the student, merely to provide the teacher information on where the students are at that particular time so that this teacher can reflect on that place and decide how to proceed best along a pathway so the students can achieve the goals that the teacher is looking to achieve. In the introduction to this volume, teachers should realize that they're not blindly encouraged to go ahead and use these probes, but first to think through the learning process that students will be going through as they engage the probe, and then decide what kind of information it is we want to get out of that probe and how we're going to use it. One way to do that is to form a study group with other teachers and to talk about how one might go about doing that. The remainder of the book is comprised of assessment probes for physical and science, nature of science, life and earth and space science. There are 13 physical science probes and 12 life science probes. The author used several probes in the classroom and found the results very useful. So we do encourage you to take a look at this kind of formative assessment probes in the volumes 1, 2, and 3 by Paige Keeley. One of the volumes that are available from the NSTA Press.